everybody seems to be on a coffee break from the holiday shopping.
Well, if it isn't the ghost from Christmas past.
May I join you? There aren't any empty tables. Well, I certainly need a caffeine shot, so I can brave it back out there. All those gifts for Star? It's nice to be a child at Christmas time. Today's your psychological evaluation, isn't it?
I've got to get River's gifts wrapped before Andrew comes by to pick them up for him.
Let me give you a hand.
Well, you have to finish Duke so you can send them to Texas.
I'm all done with mine.
No, how did you get those done so fast?
Well, I'm not my mother's son for nothing.
All right, you do a good job.
Don't I always?
Please, I want these to be the prettiest presents under the tree when River wakes up on Christmas.
Aye, aye, Captain. Give me some paper. Oh, I got some.
So, Kevin, I want to ask Andrew if I can have River here Christmas Eve. I mean, I know the arrangement. The arrangement was that I got him all day on Thanksgiving, and Andrew gets him all Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve is kind of special for us, you know? I mean, I found River abandoned in the creche at St. James on Christmas Eve.
I know. Why don't you ask Andrew if the two of you can share River on the 24th?
Is that being selfish? I mean, am I reneging?
I don't think so, no. Ask him. Look, Cass, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll finish up the presents. Then I'll take mine over to the post office to send to Duke, and then on the way home, I'll stop by Chinese, pick up some takeout. That way you can spend some time alone with Andrew.
Let's just hope that Andrew's in a holiday mood.
Oh? Sorry.
Andrew, is that you underneath all those packages?
That's me, yeah. Boy, I tell you, Vicki gave us a fat check for the hospital party for the kids, you know, and so I'm having a great time spending it.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
I have a problem.
What's that?
Which one for Star? She would love this.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the doll.
Oh, you do? Well, I'll tell you what, you buy them both.
I can.
You bet you can. You can definitely afford both.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. And I don't want to spoil her, but on the other hand...
Ted, it's Christmas.
You're right.
I'm right. It's
You're
Christmas.
right.
You bet I'm right.
Okay.
Look great.
Thanks.
So, maybe you look a little bit tired.
Oh, shopping, decorating. You know, I've never planned Christmas for a child before, and it is really an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Listen, you know, I'm sorry that I didn't call after that whole, Oh, Susanna fiasco. I didn't want to inflame Todd any further.
Oh, I should have called you. I'm sorry to have, you know, included you in that whole thing.
Well, you know, I tried to feel guilty about that song, but I didn't quite get there. You were funny. You were very funny.
I wish Todd hadn't walked in on it.
Well, I regret it insofar as it made your life more difficult, and I regret it if the fallout from all that makes it so that we can't spend as much time together. I mean, as friends, of course.
A lot's happened in the past few days, you know. Changes.
Really?
It looks like there may be a little hope for me and Todd.
Tonight.
Hope for you and Todd. Now, That's one that I've definitely heard before.
Well, this time it is different. Hey, be happy for me.
1 minute, you are standing on... You're drinking champagne, you're celebrating your independence. 2 minutes later, it's stand by your man.
Look, you don't understand, okay? Todd asked me to stay. He wouldn't say that if he wasn't willing to make an effort.
I have counseled so many battered women, and I will tell you something, Taya, the refrain is always, it's always the same.
Well,
it's always
not
like that.
with me.
It isn't. Okay.
No.
Well, I'll tell you, emotional abuse is right up there with physical.
Todd is not abusing me, okay?
Okay.
Listen, I'm sorry. This is like arguing with Santa Claus.
Yeah, you don't
okay?
want to do that a week before Christmas.
No,
that's
you
for
sure don't.
Okay, wait. Okay. Taya, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that he's trying. Do you actually believe he can do it?
Well, I guess I'll find that out.
And along the way, set yourself up for a lot of hurt.
That may happen, but I have to give Todd a chance.
How many chances? Can you just answer that one question?
My favorite color is green, and I hate practical
How
Christmas.
many times does the man have to let you down before you stop giving him chances?
Features and news are in a major battle over who covers the story of the guy who's been holding up sidewalk Santas and stealing their outfits. We have a great picture of the 5 victims, all in their long johns and beards, holding their jingle bells.
Are you married, Briggs?
To Mrs. Briggs. Helen.
Right, Helen. You got any kids?
You met my daughter, Mary Sue. She worked on the paper summers when she was in high school. Now she's in college.
Right. Oh, I remember. Yeah, you said that tuition costs were the only thing keeping you working at the Sun.
Well, it was a joke. I mean, it didn't mean that I was unhappy or, disloyal or anything.
How long?
Have I been working at the Sun?
Oh, no. How long have you been married? How many years?
27. I'll be 29 in April.
Okay. Well, what exactly do you two do?
My wife and I?
Yeah. I mean, like at night.
Is that really an appropriate question?
Oh, get your mind out of the gutter. I mean, what do you and Helen, right? Like, what do you do on a normal evening at home, like when you get home from work?
Well, we usually have a drink, and we tell each other about our respective days, how they went.
What do you drink?
Well, we both like a little dry sack.
You, up or on the rocks?
On the rocks. Oh, just one drink before dinner,
Yeah. So, you have the drink, and you talk about your day, right? And then you eat.
Yeah.
And do you talk while you eat?
Usually.
About what?
Household problems, generally.
Well, like what?
Things that need to be done around the house.
I mean, like specifics.
Fixing the roof, repairing the refrigerator, the dishwasher, plunging the,
Yeah? So, what do you do after dinner?
Well, we watch some TV. Sometimes I rent a video.
Oh, what kind of videos?
Well, usually wholesome, old-time musicals. Oh, and we both like to do jigsaw puzzles.
Of what?
Well, we just finished Monet's Water Lilies. It's 5,000 pieces. And we're about to start a 3D puzzle of the Kremlin.
Oh, great. Yeah, anything else?
No. That's about it. And, then we go, we go to bed. to sleep.
Yeah, I know all about that.
May I ask you why you're so interested?
No reason.
Excuse me? Check, please.
I have been thinking a lot about your behavior and the reasons for it.
Would you just spare me the Psych 101?
I don't understand you, Blair.
Nobody asked you to,
You have
Kelly.
been behaving so badly that a strange shrink is going to decide whether or not you can ever see your little girl again. And you don't care how or why your behavior has messed things up for you.
You are not a mother. And you cannot even begin to understand the depth to which I care. And as far as the psychiatrist goes, I'll be fine with him.
You are not fine with Taya. How much worse do things have to get before you realize, why you're doing the things you're doing?
Would you please get out of my way? Please, excuse me? Excuse me? Look, I told you I want my check, please. Thank you.
Blair, Cassie and I are desperately trying to find out everything we can about the history of madness in our family so it doesn't claim another generation. If you love Star...
You know that I love her.
Then I would think you would need and you would try to understand everything you could. If not for your sake, for hers.
I see daytime.
Whatever happened to our mothers and Aunt Dorian when they were children has nothing to do with Star.
Our mothers have been in institutions for most of their lives. And lately, Dorian is headed for one, too.
Because you're pushing her to it, Kelly.
Has had a nervous breakdown. I have not been the most stable person, and your behavior lost you your custody of your child. That's 2 generations of Kramers. Star has the same genes. What makes you think there won't be a third?
It. What do you mean, it?
That's what we're trying to find out. What was life really like in that house? We don't know.
Here you go again, about all of this stuff.
All Cassie and I want to do is just see whether or not Addie can help us.
Kelly, my mother was institutionalized, okay, when her parents were considered dead, okay? She had no contact with them. They said that my mother was dead. So what could my mother possibly know?
Maybe nothing. But maybe she can remember something from before. Some little detail about their life, about Miss Stonecliffe, about our grandparents. I don't know, just to give us a little clue to help us. To let us all, including Star, find some peace.
My mother doesn't even talk coherently about happy things. I will not push her to the dark side.
Blair, look, do you think it was easy when I went to go see my mother? To just watch her sanity disintegrate right in front of me. I understand very well how hard it is to communicate to someone who's been in an institution. But it is a lot scarier living in the fear of the unknown and completely terrified that you will end up the same way.
Yeah, no, it is scary. I always feel like you're keeping some dark secret. What is well watching around the world? Oh my God, who did you buy that Christmas gift for?
No one. Ian and I planned a trip.
Speaking of secrets, what, you got a little vacation planned for the new year, Kelly?
Actually, we're leaving tomorrow.
Great. I'm out of here. I have a psychiatric evaluation to get to, and thank you so much for the prep. I can get it. You pay the bill.
Hi. So, Santa's elf's been busy wrapping gifts?
Andrew, you have River all Christmas Day. And, I mean, I know that you're always incredibly busy at the church on Christmas Eve, but I don't have any plans. And I was kind of hoping that maybe River could come here for a little while that evening. I mean, I did. We found him on Christmas Eve, and I always thought that was a kind of a special day between us. And I don't want him to think that I forgot that, or that I'll ever forget that. And, well, actually, I really think that I need him, period. And so I was pleased.
It's fine. Sure.
Really?
Yeah, I'll pick him up after church. Really, what? Why are you so worked up over this?
I'm not worked up. I was just... I didn't know how you'd respond, that's all.
Yeah, well, I know you're kind of, I didn't know how you'd respond thing, but this is more like you're afraid thing.
Don't be ridiculous. I mean, what do I have to be afraid about, Andrew? I mean, yeah, sure, I'm a little unsettled because this is the first Christmas since our family broke up, and not having River reminds me of all those Christmases I had without my mother, but, I mean, I don't want him to feel that same sense of abandonment that I had, and I just don't want him to think of me the way that I thought of my mother all those years.
So this isn't about River. It's about you.
Hello, dear. How was your day? There you go. And, here you go.
What is this?
It's, dry sack on the rocks.
No, I mean, well, I did mean, but I also mean, what is this?
Sit down. Relax. Now, after dinner, you know, if there's nothing interesting on TV, I thought maybe we could watch some videos or do some puzzles. You know, I've got Monet's water lilies. It's about 5,000 pieces. Or we could do a 3D Kremlin. You know, I mean, they have a White House and a Taj Mahal, and if you want to do those, I could call up, they'll send them right over. But I thought a Kremlin would be more like what a normal family would do on a quiet evening at home.
Yeah.
So we'll sit, we'll have the drinks, and we'll talk about what we did today, and then we can, you know, over dinner we can talk about what we're going to do with that darn broken dishwasher.
If the dishwasher's broken, we call the super to fix it. And since when did you even know we had it?
Don't talk about it now, because otherwise we won't have anything to talk about over dinner.
How much of this did you have before I got here?
Not a drop. This is what we drink together. So do you want to start? Or should I tell you how I spent my day?
I think I know how you spent it. What I want to know is why.
Because I'm trying to give you a quiet evening at home. Normal, right?
Cassie, look, you went through a lot of stuff no child should ever have to experience.
You got that right.
And remembering all that, coupled with the family's history of mental health, not to mention the anxieties that this joyous season seems to bring out in everybody, it breeds a lot of fear. But you're not your mother. And River is not reliving your life. And our separation is, it's totally different than what kept you and Dorian apart.
But we're still apart.
And River knows that we're here and that we love him. And neither of us is going to do a thing to change that. Am I right?
Right.
And whatever else went wrong between us, loving River sure wasn't on that list.
But you don't understand. Melinda loved Kelly, and Addie loved Blair. But that didn't keep them from being institutionalized and not being part of their children's lives. I've already had one nervous breakdown.
Okay. Look. Listen. You went through a crisis. You got through it because you're strong and because you are focused.
Because I had you to help.
Oh, well, look, you have Kevin and Kelly.
You certainly saw me at my worst.
And I saw you at your best. So has River.
He has, hasn't he?
You bet he has. But that boy loves you so much. I tell you, sometimes I get jealous of how much he loves you. I mean, I know he loves me too, but the mother-child thing, it's just different.
That's why the more I find out about my mother's past, the more afraid I can. It just resonates so much of my own. Okay, I know that if I don't find out who she really is underneath that facade, well, I know that without that, I'll never know who I really am.
It's a courageous journey. A lot of people wouldn't be strong enough to do it.
Oh, I don't know if it's brave or just crazy.
You know, you're one of the bravest people I know, Cassie. You refuse to live with a lie. And that does make life a little difficult at times, but I hope it's a lesson you pass on to our son.
Thank you.
And I know when you get through this journey, you're going to feel, you feel a whole lot more comfortable with who you are.
Can you wrap that up in a box and put it under the tree?
No, I don't think that's possible. But these I can help you with. Are these what you want me
yes,
to take?
Yes, please.
Let me just get this. Okay, I'll hold them. You stack them, right? Okay.
Here you go.
Okay.
I hope it's not too many.
No, great job here.
Here, one more. Wait.
Oh, okay, you're loading me down. Huh? All right.
Okay. Here you
Okay,
go.
I got him.
Andrew, thank you for agreeing to let River spend some time here Christmas Eve.
Well, yeah. It is a holiday about a mother and a child.
So, you're Dr. Rosen.
Yes, please sit down, Miss Daimler.
I thought you'd be a man.
Why is that?
I don't know, just, old stereotypes.
Does the fact that I'm a woman bother you?
No, not at all.
Good. As you know, I've been asked by the court to perform an evaluation and make a recommendation as to whether you should be allowed supervised visitation with your daughter, Star Manning.
Yes, that's why I'm here.
I realize the very nature of this meeting, an emotional situation, a stranger who seems to wield enormous power, can produce a certain level of anxiety.
Well, I'm prepared.
Good. But please know, I'm impartial. I want to get to know you. And the more relaxed you are, the more I'm able to do that.
Well, I certainly appreciate your open-mindedness. Well, to be honest, the past years have been hell for me. While I was pregnant with Star, my husband, Todd, well, everyone thought that he was murdered in Ireland. And, well, as you can imagine, I was just totally devastated. I subsequently had the baby and tried to reconstruct my life and began another loving relationship with Patrick Thornhart, and then I became pregnant again, and then Todd returned.
I know the history. Yours is a very thick file, Ms. Daimler.
But then you know that how I have tried to move on and give Star the most normal, loving family life that I possibly could, including 2 loving parents. But Todd, he was angry and hurt and didn't want to cooperate in any way. And then shortly thereafter, Star developed aplastic anemia. And Todd and I we came just a little bit closer. And then there was the car accident. My cousin Kelly, the one that testified at the hearing, she was the one that was driving the car that hit mine. And it killed my baby, and it almost killed me, and it took months for me to regain just enough strength to do the simplest of things, like bathe, walk.
You've made a remarkable physical recovery.
Well, I had some very, very fine doctors and therapists. But Star, she was my incentive through it all.
Did you receive therapy to help deal with the emotional aspects of those injuries as well?
My minister, I have a very great relationship with him, and he has been my spiritual strength through all of this. But I've turned a corner, because there was a time, there was a time, and I really hate to admit this, that, well, I don't think that I really would have been a very good parent to Star. But that's in my past.
There is no question but that you're a very highly motivated young woman.
Thank you, Dr. Rosen.
However, your records contain reports about certain incidents. Most recently, a confrontation with your ex-husband's wife, which resulted in you pushing her through a window, and an incident in court when you struck your cousin. Do you have an explanation for these outbreaks of violent behavior?
Flash, ABC Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
While I was on my deathbed, fighting for my life, Miss Delgado married my ex-husband for a fee because, well, he was her client. So Ty could present himself to the court as some complete, happy family. And while I was on my deathbed, they moved for full custody of Star.
How did that make you feel?
Well, I didn't know because I was in a coma when they were awarded temporary custody. But after my recovery, and it was very, very difficult, on the eve of the final custody hearing, Taya purposely provoked me, and it really was an accident.
An accident?
Yes. Taya purposely provoked me into pushing her, and then she made me say statements in front of witnesses so it could be interpreted as something else. Taya was just standing there in front of the window. I feel I was more horrified than anyone when she fell. Dr. Rosen, through all of this, all the things that happened to me, Todd's death, the loss of my marriage, the loss of my baby, it's been Star. I mean, she is what has kept me going. And Taya, she was about to take her away from me.
Taya and Mr. Manning.
The point is, the accident happened under extreme duress. But I can assure you that I would never lose my temper in front of Star, no matter how much I was provoked, and I believe that. I believe that with all of my heart.
I'm certain you do. However, we have to consider the fact that your mother and one of her 2 sisters have spent most of their lives in institutions as a result, at least in part, of their own uncontrollable behavior.
Look, you said you wanted normal, right?
I know.
Well, then drink the damn drink.
I appreciate it. I do.
What's the problem here? What did I do?
Todd, it feels so forced, as if you're following some kind of script or something. Normalcy, familiarity, it just is. It simply happens when 2 people feel comfortable with one another, when they know one another.
I'll have to take your word for it. Because my family, when I was growing up, the normal night was my father came home from work and started screaming at my mother, who started screaming back, and then he'd whack her a couple of times, and then he'd whack me just for the hell of it. And then he'd leave. That's probably not exactly what you had in mind for a normal evening at home.
I didn't exactly have a role model for a normal marriage either.
Well, that's probably why this isn't working so well.
And that's why it's so important to me.
So, what do we do?
We find our own way.
How the hell do we do that?
Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Most of the positive things that we share are somehow connected to Star.
Right. But Shorty's the most important thing.
And that's a good start. But now we need to start to build something between us. Us. That's not just about her.
Why?
Well, for one thing, so that Star has a different kind of role model for a normal married life than either one of us had, unless you want her to repeat the same mistakes.
Oh, Shorty's life is going to be perfect.
That's a tall order.
Oh, we're tall people.
The question is, how do we learn to become comfortable with one another?
Well, I need specifics.
We could start by, going away somewhere together. You know, just the two of us.
For the kid, right?
Yeah. And, you know, and for us.
Okay, fine. But where do we go?
You decide.
No, this is your idea, Delgado. You take care of it.
Hey, I came up with the what. You come up with the where. Todd, there's no right or wrong choice.
There's always a right or a wrong choice. Yeah, this is Todd Manning. I need a big suite somewhere out of town for a couple of days starting tomorrow for me and my wife. Yeah, a big suite. Big. We're talking like two-bedroom big, all right? No. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Yeah. The traditional package would be great. No. Hey, no. I don't care what it is. Starting tomorrow. Great. Season's greetings to you, too.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Everything.
Does this have to do with your mother?
Yeah.
Honey. Hey. You have to resolve this. Okay? Because it's starting to make you crazy.
No, don't you say that.
It's a figure of speech.
No, Kevin, I don't want to hear it anymore, all right?
Why? You're not unbalanced, okay? And you're not heading that way.
We don't know that. Now, what if the troubles that my mother and my aunts are going through aren't based on childhood traumas? Kevin, what if they're genetic?
Cassie, you are totally and completely sane.
Then my fears are irrational.
In a way.
Which means that I'm irrational. Which means that I'm unbalanced.
Which puts a lie on the statement you just said that I am completely sane.
Okay, then I'm sorry. I should have said your fears are real. Okay? But they're unwarranted. Go take a look at yourself in that mirror, because you are fine.
You don't understand. These fears, they could affect everyone. They could affect Blair and Kelly and Star and River.
There's no connection between my mother's condition and my behavior, let alone my aunt's.
The tenets of psychiatry suggest otherwise.
But I didn't even know them until I was an adult.
You knew their absence. When there is severe emotional illness in a family, all of the members are affected in some way.
Well, not this one.
How can you be so sure? You told me before you weren't in therapy.
No.
Despite what you seem to think, an exploration of your family history might very well give you some insights into your own behavior.
Will my decision, one way or the other, to have therapy have an impact on your recommendation to the court?
My recommendation will be a result of my evaluation of your current emotional state.
But if you recommend that I have therapy, then...
Suggest.
Yes, suggest. That must mean that, you think that my emotional state isn't particularly good.
I'm not allowed to discuss that with you.
Please, Dr. Rosen, could you tell me if I'm... Are you going to let me see my little girl again?
You'll be contacted by the court.
Okay. So, that's it? We're finished?
Yes, I believe we are. And thank you for coming in, Miss Daimler.
Have a happy holiday. Great, Blair. You just ruined your chances of ever seeing Star again. Deck the halls.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next One Life